6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. And liftoff of Falcon 9. Go Spaces, go Starling.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
M1D chamber pressures are nominal.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Falcon is supersonic. Max Q.
Back chill. Eco.
Stage separation confirmed.
Back startup.
Fairing separation confirmed.
Both vehicles are on a nominal trajectory. Both vehicles continue to follow a nominal trajectory.
Stage 1 FTS has saved.
Stage 1 entry burn startup. Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
Stage 2 FTS has saved.
Stage 1 transonic.
今トランプ大統領の部屋で野球を見ておりました。1対0でドジャースが勝ってます。
So to the press corps, I'm very sorry that we kept waiting. As a matter of fact, Mr. President and I myself just enjoyed watching the Major League Baseball match. Let me extend a very warm welcome upon your visit to Japan. As I convey to you over the phone, I thank you for your congratulatory message to me right after my party LDP's presidential election. And I have been very much looking forward to seeing you in person here in Japan.
で、 安倍総理に、対するもう長きにわたる友情に感謝をしております。また昨年末に安倍昭恵夫人を、歓待いただいたことにも感謝を申し上げます。
First of all, thank you for your enduring friendship with Prime Minister Abe over the years. In addition, thank you for
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
last year.
実は安倍総理からはよく、トランプ大統領のダイナミックな、外交について話を聞いていました。タイとカンボジアの、停戦に成功し、トランプ大統領はまずアジアの平和に貢献をされました。それから先般の中東における、合意の実現もですね、これはかつてない歴史的偉業です。
As a matter of fact, Prime Minister Abe often told me about your dynamic diplomacy. Most recently, Mr. President succeeded in securing a ceasefire deal between Thailand and Cambodia and contributed to ensuring peace in Asia. Also, the deal you have recently achieved in the Middle East is an unprecedented historic achievement.
これだけの短期間に世界はより平和になりました。でこの世界の平和と安定のトランプ大統領の揺るぎないコミットを高く評価します。私自身も強い感銘を受けました。
In such a short period of time, the world started to enjoy more peace on the ground. And in this context, I highly value your unwavering commitment towards peace and stability. I, myself, was so impressed and inspired by you, Mr. President.
今や、日米は世界で最も偉大な同盟になりました。で日本も共に、世界の平和と繁栄に貢献をしてまいります。
Now both Japan and the United States have developed the greatest alliance in the world. And together with you, Japan is ready to contribute towards peace and stability.
私は日本の国益を守り抜くためにも強い日本外交を取り戻す決意です。そして自由で開かれたインド太平洋の進展に向けても日米でさらに協力を進めたいと考えています。
On diplomacy, I am determined to restore dynamic Japan's diplomacy to protect Japan's own national interests. In addition, I am ready to promote further collaboration with you and with the United States toward our shared goal of achieving a free and open Indo-Pacific.
私はこれから日本の国力、つまり外交力、防衛力、経済力、技術力、情報力、人材力を強くするリーダーとして働いてまいる決意です。
So let me share with you my determination. I will continue to strive as a leader of Japan to strengthen Japan's national power, namely diplomacy, defense capabilities, economic power, technology, intelligence, and human resources.
来年は、米国建国250周年、ですよね。で、共に、日本も共に盛大にお祝いをしたいと思っております。ワシントン DC に250本の桜を、寄付する予定です。それからまた来年7月4日にはワシントン DC で日本の秋田県の花火が打ち上げられると聞いております。
Next year, the United States will mark the semi-quincentennial anniversary. Japan and I would like to join the United States to have a magnificent celebration. We'll extend a gift of 250 cherry trees to Washington, D.C. In addition, I understand that fireworks from Japan, from Akita Prefecture, will be shown in Washington, D.C. on July 4th next year.
日本とアメリカを、より強く豊かにするために、日米同盟の新たな黄金時代をトランプ大統領とともに作り上げていきたいと願っております。ありがとう。
Through these efforts, together with you, Mr. President, I would like to realize a new golden age of Japan-US alliance where both Japan and the United States will become stronger and also more prosperous. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank you very much, and I want to congratulate you. As you know, Shinzo Abe was a great friend of mine, and I was very saddened to see what happened. It was so shocking, but he spoke so well of you, even before we knew what was going to happen, and you're...
It's 9 o'clock, Tony P. That means it's time for the Live Zone Prime Time. We are streaming live right now on Fox Local and Fox 5 DC's YouTube page. If it's their first time joining us, I'm producer Chris. This is Tony P.
What's going on, guys?
If it's live or happening over the next 60 minutes, we are going to bring it to you live.
Sure is. Our first night, I'll tell you again, we had our soft launch last week, a few days on YouTube, and now we're fully everywhere. Fox Local, we're on the streaming side, we're on, of course, the YouTube side, and I will be making a graphic for us very, very soon to put on social media, a nice, easy roadmap. I'll use some Canva probably for that.
Tony's in charge of explaining how you can watch the show if you haven't already figured it out. We are also streaming on fox5dc.com.
That's right. I forgot. See, I already forgot. I have to have the whole picture because, you know, again, I kind of can go long-winded, but I didn't do that this weekend at my sister's wedding, though. I kept it cut.
We're going to talk all about that coming up in just a minute. But if it's live and it's happening now, we are going to bring it to you. And right now, President Trump meeting with the Japanese Prime Minister in Tokyo. This is a bilateral meeting, so let's listen in for just a little bit.
But we appreciate that order, and we very much appreciate the trade. We're going to do tremendous trade together, I think more than ever before. We're just signing a new deal, and it's a very fair deal, and we look forward to welcoming Japan into the United States and a continuation, and it's something that everybody is very, very excited about.
また、日本の方も、かなり自衛隊や防衛費に関して、増加をされるということで、聞いております。このほか、米国から装備品の調達をされるということで、もちろん米国はベストな、戦闘機、ミサイル等を持っております。もちろん使いたくはないのですけれども、このような調達に関しても感謝申し上げたいと思います。貿易に関してもこれから増えていくことかと思います。また貿易協定の署名式もこれからなされる予定であります。非常に公平なこの協定になっていると思っておりますので、これからもこのような関係を継続していきながら非常にエキサイティングな時代になっていくと思います。
I have always had a great love of Japan and a great respect of Japan. And I will say that this will be a relationship that will be stronger than ever before, and I look forward to working with you. And on behalf of our country, I want to just let you know, anytime you have any question, any doubt, anything you want, any favors you need, anything I can do to help Japan, we will be there. We are an ally at the strongest level, and it's a great honor to be with you, especially so early in what will be, I think, one of the greatest prime ministers. I think you will be one of the great, everything I know from Shinzo and others, you will be one of the great prime ministers. I'd also like to congratulate you on being the first woman prime minister. That's a big deal. That's a big deal, and I want to congratulate you on that. I think that has to be called out. And you're going to do a fantastic job, and we're going to have a fantastic relationship. Thank you very much.
私は日本を愛してますし、非常に日本という国を尊敬しております。私たちの関係はこれから今まで以上に強力なものになっていくと思います。またお伝えしたいことは何らかの質問もしくは疑問、何か私たちでできることがあれば何なりと言っていただきたいと思います。日本は私たちにとって最も重要な同盟国であり、また総理にこのような早い段階でお会いできることを光栄に思っております。また、安倍晋三氏も言っておりましたけれども、非常に素晴らしい話を聞いております。ですので、高市総理はこれから目を馳せる総理になっていくと私は確信しております。また初めての女性総理ということで、これは非常にビッグディールだと私も思っておりますので、大きな期待を持っております。
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, so you've been watching President Trump in Japan meeting with the Japanese Prime Minister, Tony.
And I'll tell you what's really interesting, again, that last minute call out there of the history making, part of this where, again, we have the first woman Prime Minister in South Korea, again, making that point, the president talking about the history behind that. What was really fascinating to me, too, is what some of the kind of levers that are happening, not just in in Japan, but also abroad. When you think about this deal, a lot of it's hinging on that major purchase or major deal that happened back in September that Japan announced for a $550 billion investment in U.S. items, whether that be through equity or a mix of certain investments or guarantees and loans. So that's definitely a big part of this. The language that I noticed in the first couple of minutes is about the alliance. President Trump was so adamant about being a real helper and ally of Japan and really talking that up, because behind the scenes we're seeing the China and U.S. trade framework be worked out. There was a framework that was agreed to today, but those talks are going to happen in South Korea later this week between President Xi and President Trump are carrying huge weight in these discussions between Japan and the U.S. because the biggest goal is to strengthen that trilateral alliance between South Korea, the U.S., and Japan to really deal with the overall, the China threat, if you will, right? Whether it be through AI, quantum physics, and defense items. A big sticking point that's happening right now is the defense money that's being spent by Japan. The U.S. would like Japan to spend about 2% of their GDP on defense spending. And President Trump has, for the last 10 years, throughout his political career, has pushed for that type of, those more defense spending caps from NATO to also, to parts of Asia, Japan and South Korea. So a lot of things are happening behind the scenes, but the language is fascinating, how President Trump is very, very open to this relationship and not adversarial, even though with the tariffs and that kind of friction, you would think it wouldn't be as open and honest, but here we are with the first, part of these meetings. Again, it's very important about this China deal. What does that framework look like? How do we, kind of stop the volatility of those tariffs and the TikTok deal? What does all that mean for the algorithm and propriety for TikTok's items in China and the U.S.? All these things are happening, and this is the first step because the U.S. needs partners to keep China at bay, and this is the first part of it.
Yeah, well, as you see, we are live, and when those shots go out, they go out on the air live
they sure
as
do.
well. So, of
I love
course,
about
we
this.
will keep. Yeah, that's what I love about it, too.
It's
because
fast. It's like
is live. And
everywhere.
Speaking of live, what's happening right now is the sports equinox. Right now, those two pictures to the left, those are live shots from Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. On the bottom is Dodger Stadium out in L.A. That's coming to us courtesy of Fox Sports. And
here we go.
Tony P, obviously so many fans around the area either tuned into the World Series or the Commanders. Just a quick update for anyone out there. The Chiefs, we saw the fireworks go off while Tony was talking, which means the Chiefs just scored. It is 7-0 currently. In the World Series, 2-0. LA leads.
I'm losing on both fronts tonight.
I know, Tony.
I'm losing on both fronts.
Don't lose faith yet, okay? Because like I said, it is the sports equinox. That's what we are talking about right now. Because it's not just Major League Baseball. It's not just NFL football. It's also the NBA and the NHL. 11 NBA games, 2 NHL games. So it is a major day for sports.
Just missing golf.
You can imagine. So I do want to bring in our friend Graham Gursky. He is from Stella Point Grill in Kensington. He joins us now live. Thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks.
Hey, how are you?
Thanks, Chris, Tony P. Appreciate you guys having us on your show. We've got plenty of Commanders fans here having a good time.
I love it.
Guys, what do you need?
Good on, guys. Hi.
Hey.
Hi. I feel my wave was kind of weird. I apologize. But like, hi.
A busy night for sure. Obviously, with all of these different sports going on, talk to me a little bit about the crowd, how they're feeling right now. If it's Commanders fans, obviously, we know they just scored it. The Chiefs just scored that touchdown.
I think a lot of people are just happy that we've gotten this far in the game with them only scoring one touchdown. I think we know how the Chiefs defense can be. The Chiefs offense and the Commanders defense can be this year. But I think everyone's pretty happy that we're only down by 7, and there's a lot of time left. So we got plenty of time to make a difference here. Plenty of time to make a difference.
Absolutely. Like, as you look over this season, it's kind of been a little bit rocky. Having Jaden Daniels out, Mariota's in, a lot of the defensive issues. Based on your experience this year and the conversations happening at your establishment and the discussions back and forth, how do you feel the energy has changed throughout the first 7 games, and where do you think it's headed as we go into the middle part of the season?
I think a lot of the energy has been brought over from last season because, let's keep in mind we were 1 game away from the Super Bowl.
Right.
So I think a lot of that energy has transitioned into this season, and there's a lot of excitement. Anytime there's, whether it's the Redskins, the Commanders have had multiple Monday and Thursday night games, and when they play even at the 4 o'clock slot on Sundays, the Commanders have really brought in a huge crowd to our business, and it's a huge help for us, for sure.
So obviously, he's a Commanders fan. Graham, I'll be honest with you.
Adopted,
I'm not, but I love the fact that
that's okay. That's okay.
I love the fact that at your place, obviously, there are fans from all different teams there hanging out. But talk to me about, do you have the diehards there tonight? Are they there, and are they feeling good about what's going to happen tonight?
There's been a lot of positives. Feelings about tonight's game, and the Chiefs are a tough team to beat in the league, and I've had a lot of excitement with fans coming in well before the start of the game, to get their favorite spot, to get their favorite food and drinks in prior to this game starting, and there's a lot of positive excitement for the Commanders. Considering last week wasn't great, but every team has games like that, and I think moving forward, I think that this fan base is a strong, loyal fan base that they're not going to have any issues staying positive, even if we have a bad game here or there.
All right, yeah, and we're seeing some of those those rivalries right over your shoulder back there with both the Chiefs jersey and a Commanders jersey. Listen, there's still a lot of time left. 5 minutes in the second quarter, the whole second half. If people want to come down and hang out at Stella Point, talk to them a little bit about what they can expect.
So we've been here now a little over 2 years here in Kensington, Maryland. Oh, there we go. That's what we need there. But we have a little bit of everything on the menu. It's American bar fare, but our Chef Leo, he absolutely knocks it out of the park with some traditional El Salvadorian dishes with specials that we run. Monday and Thursday we do karaoke. Tuesday we do trivia. Wednesday we do bingo. We're always showing every game that we have in one of our 19
That is so cool.
This guy's eyes just lit
My eyes
up
just
when
lit
you said
up.
karaoke.
Karaoke and bingo, I love how you're bringing those things back. What is the most popular night? Just a little quick question. Sorry.
That's a tough answer. It just really depends what you're into. Some people are more into karaoke. Some people are more into the game nights. Some people are more into just coming in and watching sports. But we recently renovated the bar.
Looks great, by the way.
The first season. Here, let's see if we get a little shot of the bar.
That's really cool. The panels are cool up there.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, we literally just did that this past February. So
that's awesome.
It definitely makes a difference in terms of people's, viewing experience and experience at the bar.
Right.
But yeah, in terms of what's the best night, that's a tough ask. It's kind of, what you're into and what you want to experience here.
But you give them a lot of great options, so I'll tell you, probably most of those nights are pretty fun.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Graham.
I'm a little biased, but
understood.
It's a good time here. Whenever you come and hang out,
I love it. I can attest because I have been on my fair share of occasions. Graham, if you don't mind, hang out. We're going to check back in with you coming up here in just a few minutes. All right.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, fellas.
All right, thank you. In the meantime, we do want to head out from Kensington over to National Harbor. That's where Josh Rosenthal is live, hanging out with some other Commanders fans watching tonight's game. Obviously, hopefully, people still feeling positive despite the 7-0 deficit.
Hi, Chris and Tony P. First of all, thank you very much for having me. And yes, I do think people are feeling positive. I got to tell you, we're at Half Sports Bar, MGM National Harbor. I wasn't exactly sure what to expect tonight. I've been here many a Sunday. This place has been absolutely packed, shoulder to shoulder. But this is Monday night. Commanders have some injuries. They've been on a little bit of a slide lately. Tonight, though, a lot of people showed up. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm trying to show you some of the crowd here without showing too much of the TVs, which we're not supposed to. I will tell you, though, there is a lot of hope in this room. It got a little deflated for a minute because the Commanders, I don't know how much you guys have talked about this, the Commanders kicked off Patrick Mahomes in the first, early into the second quarter.
Yeah, off Travis Kelce. Yeah.
So for that to happen, and for the Commanders to still have 0 points, that's a little deflating. However, overall, they have looked pretty good. They have those 2 interceptions, one off Kelsey's hands. They have been moving the ball. They just haven't been able to convert and get the ball in the end zone. So they're moving now, and we'll see what happens. But yes, people we've talked to tonight, we got some people who are like, the season's over, too many injuries, Jaden's not playing. But by and large, people here still pumped up. They're still feeling it. They're still optimistic about tonight and this season overall.
It started to sound like back when I was, back in New England with my home team. Like, if you lost 2 games in a row and you were not making the playoffs, it was like everything is over. Hell's gonna freeze over, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Like, I think we're starting to get that way. Like the sugar high from last year is rolling. Now, let me ask you this. So, like, in terms of like the fan, spirit, we're talking about this loyal fan base, but the schedule's been kind of weird this year. A lot of 4 o'clock games, a lot of Monday night games, all kind of back to back, and we got a few more coming. Have you seen that is maybe impacting the fans? Are they a little bit more tired, or is it kind of harder to get that energy up with the different timings and with schedules and all that, or do you still sense that the energy is still carrying forward, even with the more, I would say, peculiar schedule this year?
I think the only thing that will ever affect fan energy, in particular Commanders fan energy, is wins and losses. So for that reason and that reason alone, for some people, it has been a little lacking lately. However, the schedule as a whole, Tony, you make a good point. It has been rough. They've got the Chiefs tonight. Next up, they've got the Seahawks coming off a bye. They're good anyway.
Right.
And then it's Detroit. A couple games after that, it's Denver. It's just a rough schedule. It's a lot tougher than we had last year during that amazing run. And then you combine that with maybe a little less luck in some spots as compared to last year, and you end up where we are now, 3-4. But you keep these positive guys, like I was saying earlier, still a lot of hope. And as you can hear, maybe a little bit of cheering here as the Commanders, I believe, run for a first down.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously the NFC East is kind of still wide open. The Eagles sitting pretty dominantly at the top. And not saying that as a fan, but just because right now it's Dallas and the Commanders kind of sitting there battling for second place. Are fans still optimistic, maybe hoping for that NFC Championship rematch?
Nobody likes the Eagles, Chris. Nobody likes you. No offense to you.
Understood.
I know you're
listen.
Nobody's worried about the Eagles. We're doing just fine. Can I change the topic for a minute?
Yes, absolutely. You can.
Want to hear stories?
Yes, please.
I want to hear stories.
I don't get to talk to Tony very much. Hi, Tony. This is my Tony P story. I was once sent down to a Capitol Hill bar after a Joe Biden debate to get MOS, man on the street interviews.
Oh no!
I did not have a lot of luck. It was not a good place to go for that kind of content. However, the reason I bring it up right now is because some young lady on that night yelled at me, doesn't know me for anything, and she says, "You look like Tony P's dad." So, yeah, I want to see
That is so funny.
You know what I told her?
Hey, I'd be honored.
That's what I said. I said,
I'd be honored.
I'm very proud of my son.
Oh,
I didn't want to derail your show.
No, I'd be honored. I'd be honored for you being dad, because I'll tell you, man. I think I'm all right looking, but man, you're definitely carrying the water between the two of us, my friend. All just being honest,
Tony, it's all in the family. Son, it's all in the family.
It's again, don't let anybody in the family know what.
Don't let me third wheel you guys over here. This bro fest that's happening.
I am honored, but listen, that again, that is very nice. Again, you got a great personality. You're fun. I'd like to channel some of that energy. So I'm honored just that you said that, because you know what? Again, the pleasure's all on this side of the table.
Thank you. I took it as a compliment. That is my Tony P story that I wanted to share with you guys.
I appreciate you, man. That's and again, it's really cool. I mean, what's really interesting again that night was really interesting. The man on the street stuff. It was not a lot of energy after that debate. It was kind of like a big jaw dropping moment. A lot of silence going on that night. But let me ask you this: so in terms of the Jaden Daniels situation, so do you think a lot of fans are hopeful because he hasn't played? So people are like, you know what? Once he gets there, we'll make a run. Do you kind of feel that energy? It's because we're missing that one piece, or no?
Josh, before you weigh in, I'm just going to say that we do have some people jumping in our YouTube comment section. Free to Be says, no Jaden, no chance at the playoffs this year.
Wow.
Follow that up saying,
perfect timing.
Giants are cooked, Dallas is overrated, Commanders will finish second, Eagles are just starting to click. That's not me. That's Free to Be watching us live right now.
Well, I want Free to Be to know that, first of all, thank you for watching. It's a pleasure to hear your comments tonight. However, I vehemently disagree with you. What I think and what I've heard from many people is, hey, yes, Jaden has missed some games, but we expect him back very soon. And especially given the magic that we saw with Jaden last season and everything he did before he even got to the Commanders, as long as that guy is on this team, they've got a chance. And I'll add this. So far, they looked okay against the Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm staying optimistic, at least for now.
No, that absolutely makes sense. And again, the only piece is they've lost a couple games close, even to Atlanta. And again, they beat LA. So there's a lot of talent here. I just think it seems like they're just missing on defense a little bit. If they can pick some of that up and hold them maybe to under 20 points, might be a better situation going forward, even during this Mariota interregnum, if you will. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I could go on and on about this.
I have Travis Kelce on my fantasy team, and I'm in kind of a neck-and-neck battle right now, so, I'll just say that.
Listen, because his hand, he's not catching a lot this year. He's had a couple plays that have been interceptions.
I'm not saying it was a smart choice on my part. I'm just saying that's the situation as I'm seeing it.
It's kind of like the Madden blues, but this is like the more wedding blues. He's going to get married soon. Like, it's kind of like that. The hype is starting to get to him in his later age. Just saying.
Josh, real quick, before we let you go, are people still watching the World Series? I mean, this is the sports equinox.
No one cares about the World Series here, Chris. It is on. It is on.
Nobody.
Have Sports Bar. Great place to watch a lot of
Zero.
games at the same time.
Zero.
Live on Fox 5 for the next 3 nights.
All anyone cares about here is the Commanders, and they might have just scored a touchdown. It was an amazing Deebo Samuel catch. Right at the pylon, kind of the
What's
level.
good?
Oh, yeah, we're watching the replay.
Yeah, we got it right over here.
All right. This is your.
That one might be incomplete.
Yeah. No. This is who needs the Manning cast when you've got Josh, Tony, and producer Chris?
Oh, this beats the Manning
watching
cast.
Out of the corner
kidding
of
me?
our eye and talking about it.
That's embarrassing. You made that comparison.
Josh, thanks so much for spending some time with us tonight. Are you giving us?
We could have ended on a touchdown. Chris, my son Tony, thank you for having me.
Listen, you are a gem.
Thank you so much, Josh. Enjoy the rest of your night. You can catch him on Fox 5 News at 10 and 11 with fan reaction. Are you giving us a touchdown?
Come on, ref.
The bar thinks it's a touchdown.
Come on, Pop.
Okay.
I need you.
Right.
I need you, Pop, right now, baby.
We're going to wait for the call. We're going to stay on you until the call comes down.
Let's see if we can get the bar in the background.
All right, that's what I'm listening.
That's a great setup. I love the brick in there.
By the way, folks, this is Terry McLaurin. He's been out for a month.
Come on, do we have?
All right, Free to Be also says my parlays are not looking good right now. The game is way lower scoring than I expected.
Everybody thinks it's a touchdown.
Still no call on the field?
I wonder, with the MGM being right there, is there a lot of kind of walking traffic going back and forth, placing bets, or are they doing it mostly, is there a lot of, action going outside and coming back, or no? I've always been curious about that.
That's a good question. It does look like there's a nice little line of people outside, maybe waiting for a table. There's a little back and forth.
Got it, just seeing some of it.
Definitely a bunch of people in here talking about the bets that they made before they entered.
That they made outside that are not panning out.
All right, Josh, we got to let you go. We're going to take a quick break. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, brother. Thanks, Bob.
As we leave
Appreciate
we're going to take you live to Japan. Thank you, Josh. We're going to take you live to Japan. That's where President Trump was just meeting with the Japanese Prime Minister. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back in 2 minutes. All right, welcome back to the Fox 5 Live Zone. No, what is it? The Live
Zone
Zone
Prime
Time. This show is so new. I'm still figuring out what it is.
Our brains are
Tony
fresh. You know, again, like, you know, it all is about molding. It's routines are going to happen. It's going to be like second nature to us. I'll tell you.
My brain is fried. I don't know about you, but my brain is absolutely.
Most of the audience is either on the couch or they're in bed getting ready. So you know what?
I'd like to hear.
We're all a little sleepy.
As you have seen so far, obviously, anything can happen in this show at any given moment. You can weigh in on the YouTube comment section. You can also scan the QR code that we like to put up every now and then and join the conversation that way too. If you're watching the Commanders, if you're watching the World Series, if you're watching President Trump in Japan, all options. But we do want to move on to our other big story tonight, which is,
you wonder what that is?
Yeah, it's that shutdown, day 27 of the federal shutdown, obviously still having a major impact on so many people's lives. A group representing hundreds of thousands of federal workers calling on lawmakers to now reach a deal and end this shutdown. Republicans have been pressuring Senate Democrats to vote to fund the government without adding new spending, and now the American Federation of Government Employees, which represents around 800,000 federal workers, is calling for them to pass it as well. It says other issues can be sorted out after its members get paid. But Democrats say extending Affordable Care Act subsidies to reduce skyrocketing insurance costs too important to delay without assurances from Republicans. Meanwhile, funding for SNAP food benefits will run out at the end of the month. Democrats have called on the White House to use emergency funds to cover the program, but the administration says it will not. The longest government shutdown, Tony, in history lasted 35 days. That was during President Trump's first term. So we still have a few days. We're at 27, but
we're getting there.
No real end in sight at this point.
And a reminder, I mean, that shutdown was right after the 2018 midterms. It was during the kind of the holiday season, towards the end of it. So you had kind of some days that it kind of like it padded the stats a little bit with the holidays and the different timing of the schedule. This is purely 27, 28 days now. I mean, it sounds like like a game show song, like in the back of my head the whole entire time, like it's the same song on repeat. It just continues. And you know what? Again, real people are being impacted. We're seeing, for example, you know, food lines are starting off. You know, there's food distributions, whether it be through the Capital Area Food Bank or World Central Kitchen today. And again, we're seeing, you know, the FBEA, which is, you know, giving out microloans. Like, this is getting to a dire position. And there really is no end in sight. There's very small whispers of a 10-day, you know, funding package. I can't even say it tonight. A funding package, if you will, that might come together for a 10-day extension to get us, you know, towards Thanksgiving. Maybe we can get a deal on the ACA subsidies, but that isn't even getting a lot of traction. We're not seeing those same bipartisan group of senators like we saw during the COVID negotiations or the last government shutdown, or even the fights over the debt ceiling that happened in 2023 and 24. There was always kind of that coagulation of bipartisan senators or members of Congress coming together. It's not happening. Now, what's interesting is, again, this endorsement today, sort of a clean CR by the American Federation of Government Employees, because they're saying pass the bill cleanly. No mention of ACA or health care or Medicaid. One thing to note, though, is that with government employees, they're not subject to the ACA subsidies or the exchanges. So that could be, you know, there's different angles here. Again, federal employees are dealing with, you know, food insecurity, issues with the mortgage and rent, especially for those employees that are going in, TSA, air traffic controllers. It can be very, very difficult out there. So a lot of competing interests are starting to happen. And if you look at the political angle of this, a union coming out and supporting this and supporting a clean CR could be a potential, you know, minor political blow for Democrats trying to keep this coalition together as they figure out how to get the ACA subsidies put in to a funding bill, or at least a stopgap provision. So a lot of things are happening here. And again, just no end in sight, Chris. And this could go beyond 35 days and into the holiday season, and that could just be catastrophic. My view of this...
Wouldn't be shocked at this point.
No, I mean, and the only thing is the polling shift would need to happen either really major in the Democrats' direction, like a 20, 30-point advantage, even maybe a 10-point advantage, because right now it's about 7 or 8, or it would have to become 50-50 for any type of movement here, because both sides are really looking at this as a political calculation.
Well, you mentioned some of the food lines and federal workers lining up Today, World Central Kitchen, which run by DC's own Jose Andres, was out in Navy Yard handing out food. Fox 5 was there. We got a chance to catch up with one of the workers. We also talked to some of the federal workers in line for food. Take a listen.
Our mission is simple. We feed people during moments of crisis. As I mentioned, as we're headed into the 4th week of the U.S. government shutdown, folks who work for the U.S. federal government have missed paychecks, and we're trying to give back to that community and provide some level of support, and what better way than through the power of food.
I will say that I expected this to happen, and I wasn't surprised or I wasn't taken aback. I've been with the federal government for over 11 years, so I was a part of the last Trump administration. So I knew what to expect. I followed these things for work, so it was an expectation, and you just try to prepare as much as you can. It's not easy, but you just have to take the good with the bad, you know?
The first week it was deeply anxiety-ridden because not only was I furloughed, I had just moved to a new apartment. On the bright side, I got everything moved in record time. There was a lot of energy, just put it that way. So I was trying to figure out jobs, unemployment benefits, paperwork. I had to contact my landlords and say, I know this is a really bad look, but I've been furloughed and I can pay this much, but what do we do next time? So yeah, the first week I wasn't really thinking about being bored. I was a little upset. I was anxious. The next couple of weeks I was bored and anxious and upset. Again, on the bright side, I've gotten very close to my garden over in the community garden, and I've finished some knitting I was doing, which is a good thing.
So, when you heard about this event, what did you think? Did you think relief?
Gratitude mostly. But I was also expecting it. As I said to someone earlier, I was actually wondering when the World Central Kitchen would do something like this, because I know they're based here and their headquarters are based in this neighborhood, but also they're so proactive and caring about the neighborhoods and other people that, that they serve. So I wasn't surprised at all, just like, oh, okay, good. It's more of a, not I can take a breath, but I'm glad it feels more like they're on our side, you know?
And when we think of the World Central Kitchen, we think of
Hello, hello. Test, test, test. Hello, you guys there?
All right, we are back on Fox Local, checking our audio. It looks like our audio is working right now. I'm going to keep our fingers crossed. If you are in the YouTube chat right now,
comments, please tell us.
Let me know. I know Frida B says that we can't hear you guys, and Corey says turn the mics on. Right now, on our end, the mics are showing up. Hopefully everyone out there can hear us. In the meantime, we do want to move on to our other big story tonight, and that is Hurricane Melissa taking aim at the Caribbean, specifically the island of Jamaica, which could be in store for a direct hit tomorrow. In the meantime, I do need to bring Mike Thomas into the conversation. Tony, I know you are...
We don't have to. We want to. I want to bring him into the conversation.
He is our expert when it comes to all things weather. He joins us now live from the weather closet, as we call it, for more on this major situation that's developed.
I want one of those jackets. How can I get access to one of those? Just...
through a DC snowstorm, which we haven't had in 10 years. So you might want to wait. Maybe this winter you'll get lucky there.
Hey, listen, we had a few last year. I'll tell you again. We had a couple back to back in January.
We did, but that's not now. If you think January last year was a DC classic blizzard, yeah, come on.
Even for being from Boston, that's true.
That's the last good snow we had. But we're talking hurricanes.
Yes,
right?
You know, absolutely. And now let me ask you this: so when I heard about this hurricane and where it's headed and the track of it, you know, again the strength overall, is this normal for this time of year? Even though we kind of know August, September, even maybe early October is known for being hurricane season. I could be wrong, just uneducated. But
you're
true?
Absolutely right. You are not uneducated, sir. You're one of the most educated men I've ever met.
Oh, come on, too kind.
But yeah, this is not atypical, right? Hurricane season peaks typically in the middle of September.
Yeah.
And then from there we sort of trail off. But when we talk about major hurricanes, most of the time it's sort of that mid to back-loaded season for major hurricane season, because that's when your water temperatures start to peak. And after you hit peak water temperatures down there in the Caribbean, they're much slower to fall off. Just like it takes longer for water to warm than air, it also takes longer for water to cool than air. So that's why this extreme hurricane season, or the hurricane extremes, can last a little longer. So hurricane season, starts as we start the summer, June 1st. You typically don't get the big boys until we get to the second half. September and October can certainly have their fair share of Category 5s. This is the third Category 5 of this hurricane season, and unfortunately, it's the strongest one that we've had so far this season, and it is heading right for Jamaica at a snail's pace right now.
Wow. So when looking at like the overall pacing of this, and again, where the timing is, being a Category 5 and really growing and staying there, does this mean that it could linger in terms like not just like, going through Jamaica quickly, maybe reducing damage? It could just stay over there and hover based on its current trend, or could it break apart and not be as strong?
So as right now, it's essentially in sort of ideal conditions. It's got nothing really ticking it in any specific direction. That's why on that graphic you see on your screen, you might see the movement's just northwest at 2 miles per hour. It's barely moving. It's got nothing on top of it, what we call wind shear. It's got no wind shear, so it just has this perfect circular structure. It's one of the best structures I've ever seen from a hurricane. Now, why it's going to start picking up pace and heading towards Jamaica, some upper level winds are going to come in, start to impact the storm and drag it northward. As that happens, it should weaken, but it will not weaken in a significant sense. It is definitely going to make landfall as either a low-end Category 5 or a high-end Category 4. And honestly, the difference between the two, it's still going to be pretty catastrophic for whatever portion of Jamaica happens to take that direct landfall. Remember, when we talk about these maximum winds, it's not across the entire hurricane. It's mostly in kind of that northeastern eye wall there. So a small kind of section near the eye, when that makes landfall, is what's going to take the brunt of the storm in terms of winds. Of course, the other problem is it's moving so slow, it is dumping a ton of rain, and that's really not going to change. There could be mudslides, landslides, all of that, because some spots could get 1 to 3 feet of just rain over the next 24 to 48 hours.
Unbelievable. I mean, that was my next question. So like when you think about this development and you think about, for U.S. impact with the winter coming and our reports here at Fox 5, does this really change anything, or is this kind of on path what we talked about last week?
No, I mean, in terms of winter, this has absolutely zero impact on any a completely different season. This is just, this is still part of the hurricane season. I don't want to say this isn't unusual. This is the Caribbean Sea. They're known for hurricanes. Jamaica, I don't believe, has ever, though, at least as far back as our records go, taken a direct landfall from a Category 4 or a Category 5, I don't believe. I'll have to double check that data, but I certainly don't think they've ever had a Category 5, because the island's kind of small, and a lot of times the hurricanes go more east to west through the Caribbean Sea, as opposed to this kind of slow jog northern track. It's an unusual track, but this season they were anticipating that some of these monsters could form, and unfortunately we're getting our strongest here in what could be one of the last named hurricanes of this upcoming season, or of the current season.
Mike, let me ask you a quick question, and I'm going to bring it back home. Obviously, Halloween just a few days away. Any impact that this storm could possibly have on all the people who want to head out trick-or-treating this weekend?
Not at all. In fact, I'll go ahead and throw up the latest from the National Hurricane Center, which shows the track. Now, they'll update this track coming up during the 10 o'clock news, so tune in on Fox Local for that. We'll be covering that when they release that right around 10:45. So you see they have it kind of impacting Category 4, Category 5. Don't be too fooled by the fact it says 4 over Jamaica. At landfall, it may be a 5. That then weakens to a 4. It then goes over Cuba as a 3. Good news is we have our own storm system to contend with. It is obviously not tropical, but there's one swinging through the Midwest right now. That's going to make it rain here kind of second half of Wednesday into the first half of Thursday. We need the rain. Good news is it gets out of here well in time for trick-or-treaters. Halloween looks, I don't want to say great, it looks dry. It will be chilly and it will be breezy, but the most important thing for trick-or-treaters, is it going to rain? No, it looks like we should be
That's
okay
good.
in terms of rainfall for trick-or-treating on
over
Friday
these 80-degree Halloweens.
Oh, come on. Really? It's like,
it will not be that. We have had plenty of those. It will not be one of those this year.
I'd rather have that than be freezing.
Mike Thomas, thank you so
thank
much
you,
for
Mike.
spending a little
You're the
time
best.
with us tonight. We'll see you over on the Fox 5 News at 10 for an update. In the meantime, we do want to switch gears and we want to bring Graham Gursky back in from Stella Point Grill in Kensington. The second half of Monday Night Football has now kicked off, Graham. Are vibes high now that the Commanders have tied it up?
You know, I think the fact that, you know, we're tied here now starting the second half, and we've got guests here like Saoirse and Drew who are not only enjoying the Commanders game, they're here celebrating their wedding anniversary.
Oh, my, congratulations.
Hell yeah, congratulations. All right, so now,
that is
if
awesome.
I'm not mistaken, I can see the burgundy and gold. They have to win for you.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I'm sorry, you guys are breaking. Did you say they have to win this game, or?
I said they have to win it for them.
Yes,
I
anniversary.
think so. I think this is a big, you know, in terms of how the season is going, I think this is a game that we need to get the W for. And, you know, everybody's still here. Everyone's having a great time. And, you know, I think we need to keep that positive energy moving forward.
Maybe it's the turning, maybe not only just the anniversary, it's the turning point in another playoff run potentially. Again, that could be all like the luck of love and football. Listen, how can you not be romantic about sports, as Moneyball said? So you know what? I sense it. I do.
Hey, whatever it takes. Like I said, as long as we have guests in here like Drew and Saoirse that are having a good time and bringing that positive energy, you know, I think we can keep things going and get the W here tonight.
Absolutely.
Graham, not sure if anybody's paying attention to the World Series, but the Toronto Blue Jays have now pulled ahead 4-2 on this sports equinox. And these two stories are actually more related than you might think, because in case you didn't know, Magic Johnson, who is a part owner of the Commanders and the Dodgers, he chose to spend his evening in L.A. watching the Dodgers, but he says he's going to have the Commanders on at the same time. So you can see his tweet down there in the right-hand corner of the screen. But obviously, for him, he's hoping for victories on both sides.
You know, we do have, you know, the World Series on a handful of TVs. I won't say it's a ton, because clearly there's a lot of excitement for this Commanders game here tonight. But the World Series is on. We're watching it. And, you know, hey, he's a part of the Commanders organization, so there's a little bit of us that's supporting him, too, for sure. For sure.
All right.
Absolutely.
Middle of the fifth.
4-2.
World Series.
I mean,
4-2 Blue Jays.
It's
Series
happening.
tied 1-1. Graham, thanks so much for spending some time with us tonight. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for having us on the show. And,
You're awesome.
If anyone gets a chance to check out Stella Point in Kensington, Maryland,
oh,
please
I'm
come
coming.
check out our food and our fantastic staff.
I
can't wait.
I ordered 20 wings.
Ooh.
I got those Chesapeake
20.
hot wings on Friday night.
Whoa.
There we go.
And I
There
love
we go.
Kensington.
That's what we like to hear.
I love the area, so I'm looking forward to coming out and seeing you guys. Even though I don't drink, I love a good sports bar. I can't wait to come out.
All right.
Hey, no problem. We got great food for you to enjoy.
I love it.
All right, Graham, we'll
Thank
talk to you again soon. Have a great rest of the night. Go Commanders. We'll take a
All right,
quick
take
break.
care, fellas. Have a good night.
You too. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back in just 2 minutes. Well, if you were watching during the break on YouTube behind the scenes, you saw the fireworks go off, and you know what that means. We spoke a little too soon. The Chiefs scored again. It is now, should be 13-7. It's probably,
yep, there it is.
14-7.
There's the Google, the 7 points in green that goes up. I can't stand when that happens.
There's still a lot of game left, Tony P. A lot of game left.
The defense, I mean, that's been the most frustrating part of this team this year, has been the line of scrimmage. They can't get pressure on the quarterback, and that is the problem.
Marshawn Lattimore,
right?
Whether he would be targeted by the return of Rashee Rice tonight. We'll have to wait and see.
They're going at him a little bit, and it's again. I mean, when you can't put pressure at the line of scrimmage, you put a lot of stress on those back corners, and also if you have single high safety setup, which is what the Commanders have a decent amount of.
Tonight, the P stands for coach, Tony.
I mean, it can be an issue.
Listen, I want to talk about what's coming up tomorrow night. You're taking a look at some video here. The high heel race returns to Washington, D.C. tomorrow night in DuPont Circle. We are going to cover that live right here on Fox 5 because that's what we do here on the Live Zone Primetime. If it's live, if it's happening now, we are going to talk all about it. And obviously, this is a huge thing here in the nation's capital. Been going on for years and years and years. But what will make it more interesting than ever before is the fact that for the first time ever, the one and only Tony P will be there live.
I'll be
covering
there, baby.
it for the Live Zone Primetime. I'll be here in studio holding things down. Tony P is going to be out there. So go find him tomorrow night. Maybe lend him a pair of heels so we can see how he runs in them.
I can do it.
Have no doubt.
I can do it.
Who else can do it?
I'm so ready.
Cesar Cornejo, Fox 5 meteorologist. This was this morning on Good Day DC. Normally, this is Tucker Barnes' area of expertise, but today he was enjoying some time off, so Cesar was trying to fill his shoes, literally.
And did all right. Didn't fall.
He did okay. He did okay. Jacqueline Matter, clearly the more seasoned pro when it comes to the high heel race, showing off, beating him, come from behind victory. But make sure you tune in to the Live Zone Primetime on Fox Local and streaming here on Fox 5 DC's YouTube page tomorrow night, and look for him.
I'm excited.
If you are going to be down along 17th Street.
I'm gonna have one of the mics. I'm ready.
He's going to have a mic.
Oh,
he's going to be talking to you. You're going to be talking to us. We're going to watch it go down live together right here on Fox 5.
I'm gonna be kind of doing my reporting duties for the first time. I'm really excited for that.
I'm looking forward to it too.
We're gonna see how I do. But I'll tell you, you know what? I love this event. I think it's really, really unique to DC. It's so cool, and you know, it brings the community together in a great part of our city, DuPont Circle, a true cultural hub. And I just think it's gonna be a nice, positive, uplifting, fun event. I can't wait for this. I love that we do this, and this is part of what I think makes DC special. It's not just our federal capital or a district. It's the culture in events like this, and the fun, and the just people coming together and really enjoying each other's company, having some fun, and again doing it for a good cause. So I'm really excited for this. I'm honored to be a part of it tomorrow.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
And please come up to me. If you're running in it, all the contestants, if you're just hanging out, cheering people on, come hang out with us. Love to interview you and have a good time.
Watch
and
it live right here as well. I'll also have the Zoom room open tomorrow night. We'll have the chat in the YouTube section open tomorrow night.
Can't wait.
In the meantime, coming up tonight on Fox 5 News at 10 and 11, Josh Rosenthal live out at that MGM National Watch Party for the Commanders. Hopefully they score another touchdown and tie things up.
Please.
So that he has a lot to celebrate. We'll also have highlights of the World Series when it ends. Also, I think we're going to be on Fox Local because the World Series is
exactly.
on. So we're coming up to the final 45 seconds of the show here. We'll leave you with a live picture from Arrowhead Stadium out in Kansas City. Tony P.
My friend, first night fully live.
We did it.
We did it, my friends. Thank you for joining us.
Who joined us. Thanks to everyone who logged in. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow night.